Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever in the world. This is Unready News because we're always unready. Trump decided to send a message to Greenland stating, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus. I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace, although it will always be predominant. But now but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America. He also added, the world is not secure unless we can complete and total control of Greenland. I don't think the world needs the United States to own Greenland to be secure. Trump also said America would levy a 10% tariff on goods for the 8 countries starting on February 1st, which would rise a 25% on June 1st and remain in place until such time as a deal is reached for the complete and total purchase of Greenland. He also, this comment right here had me laughing since this was actually pretty fun. And it's not funny, but like the whole situation is not funny, but it's crazy how senile this man is. Trump made similar comments last week saying the fact that they had a boat land there 500 years ago doesn't mean that they own the land. Like, does he not know how people used to travel 500 years ago to go other countries? But apparently, we have a very smart president. As of earlier this week, we do have U.S. military troops on standby for possible deployment in Minnesota. Up to 1,500 U.S. active duty troops in Alaska are on standby for possible deployment to Minnesota. A U.S. official who was not authorized to speak publicly has now confirmed to NPR. Kristi Noem was also interviewed earlier this week, asking again, if the way ICE is using its force is going out of line, and her response was,
The family was caught up in that situation because of violent protesters that were impeding law enforcement operations. And that family would have never been in that situation if those protesters had been acting peacefully and law enforcement was able to do their job without being threatened. And so it's a terrible situation that that family had to go through, and I hope it never happens again. But we need to remember that because the mayor and the governor have allowed this kind of violence to be perpetuated across Minneapolis is why there's other